What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, we're coming back to Radiohead. Yes, indeed, Radiohead Fans Feeling You. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi bop, do me a favor before you do all that stuff. Please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Jason, and Jason wanted to see me react to this song by Radiohead called Man of War. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard this song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, this sounds familiar, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Let's see, this was posted by Exo Archive, okay? And the video has 6,100 views. Well, there you go. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. A link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Radiohead, Man of War, HD. Cool. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Drift are you like from ocean to ocean? Search the whole world with drunken confessions and hijacked affairs. Will just make you more alone. When you come home, I'll bake you a cake made of all their eyes. I wish you could see me dressed for the kill. You're my man of war. You're my man of war. Yeah, the world's will come for you.
I can't believe I'm going to say this. To some extent, I'm enjoying this. I listen, I know this is not my usual cup of tea. It's not. But there's something strangely relaxing and calming about this song, which is funny considering how much dissonance they're using, how many half-step semitones they're taking, how many like flat 6 to 5 back up to flat 6 again. You know, it's you would think that kind of movement would be a little unnerving, especially with the usage of the sus chords. It's like, wait a minute. Wait, it's unnerving, yes, but in a very pleasing to the ear way. I would dare say comforting. It's strange. It's working though. It's absolutely working. I don't know what's causing it to work though. That's the funny thing. I'm not understanding. Maybe it's the vocals. Maybe it's Tom's singing approach, his vocal approach. Maybe that's what's tying it all in. Because if you look at the notation and you look at the chordal progression, it's unnerving. You know, root down to the flat 6, down to the 5, back up to the flat 6 again. It's building up all this anticipation, and then we just go back up to the root again. What? just jump up there? So let me get this straight. Flat 6, down a half step to the 5, back up a half step to the 6, back up to the root again? Jump 3 semitones? 4 semitones, I'm sorry. 4 semitones. What? It should feel a lot more unnerving than it does. I don't know. I don't know what's causing it. Like I said, it's not normally my cup of tea. This is not something I'll ever listen to on the regular, but I gotta say, it's pleasing to the ear. It absolutely is. So let's keep going here. Up to the 5, 6. The roof. This song has Beatles written all over it. Flat 6, flat 5, flat 6, flat 5, flat 6, flat 5. And we're going to end on the 5. Huh. I mean, like I said, it's not normally my cup of tea. It really isn't, but there was definitely something appealing about the song that I just can't put my finger on. Anyway, let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Radiohead with Man of War. This was a request from Jason. Okay, I thought about it. I took everything I could into account. And I count a score here. It's an interesting score, that's for sure. Let's just get to it, and we'll get to my reasons how I came up with the score. On a scale of 1 to 10, believe it or not, I'm gonna give that a 7.7. Yep, 7.7. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, 7.7. What does that mean? Well, a 7.7 would translate to a really good skill rating, so overall, I think this was a really well done song. It would also get 4 to 5 stars and a B+ letter grade. So there you go, 7.7, really good skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B+ letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? So glad you asked. Is this type of song, is this style of song my cup of tea? Is this the style of song that I normally enjoy listening to? No, it's not. I'm definitely more of a rock and metal guy without question. I like songs with a lot of energy, a lot of drive. But at the same time, I also love jazz. Go figure that one out. I have no problem listening to Coltrane or Miles or Bird or even going to the big band styles. How about Glenn Miller? How about Duke Ellington or Count Basie? I'll listen to any of these groups. But here's the thing, I have to be in the mood for them. I can't just put jazz on and like big band jazz. I mean, I'll enjoy it, sure, but while I really get into it, sometimes I will, sometimes I won't. It depends on if I'm in the mood to listen to it or not. And then to be honest with you, the same thing can be said for rock and metal. Guys, sometimes I'm just not in the mood for it. Sometimes I'm in the mood for something a little mellower. But I've always said this about the channel. While this may not be my cup of tea, it may not be blowing my skirt up, okay? It's not my typical bag or my typical jam. I have always said this on the channel. I don't have to love a song to give it a good score. At the same time, I don't have to hate a song to give it a bad score. This is one of those times where I may not be the biggest fan of the song, and quite frankly, I don't know if I'll ever listen to this again, but it was an enjoyable listen. Now, maybe it's because I'm in the mood for it. It's possible. I mean, that is very, very possible. But I'm listening to the song, and I'm actually kind of finding myself enjoying it, which is weird because, like I said, this is not my usual bag. And I found it really, really interesting that a song that created so much dissonance, utilizing, I was wrong about one thing, I gotta correct myself on this, so go ahead, hit me with corrections and retractions, go ahead.
Corrections and retractions.
I was wrong about the notation. It wasn't flat 6 to 5, it was natural 6 to flat 6. So root to natural 6 to major 6 to flat 6, back to major 6, back to root again. That's why it sounded so dissonant, is because we were on the 6s. We never resolved to the 5. That's why it sounded so dissonant. If it had resolved to the 5, it would have had that natural, it would have naturally been able to work its way out. And, that resolution, we resolved, from the natural 6 to the flat 6. Okay, we moved a half step, and now we're going to half step to the 5. The strongest integer between the root and any integer within a scale. The 5 is always going to be the strongest integer. So, and then resolve from the 5 to the root. That would have made a lot more sense. That would have been probably a lot more quote unquote pleasing to the ear. But here's the thing, and I have absolutely no explanation for this. For some reason, the root to the natural 6 to the flat 6 to the natural 6 back up to the root again, it worked. Now, how did it work? That is a great question I have no answer for. I wish I did, I wish I could sit and explain to you, well, it happened because of this and this and that. Folks, I'm stumped. I have no idea why that worked. Maybe it's possible. The instrumentation. Okay, it's very, very possible. One of the strongest things going for this song was the instrumentation, the choices that were utilized for the voicings, knowing when to bring what instrument in where. Now that really comes down more to arrangement than it does songwriting, deciding what instruments are going to play where and which notes and how much in the mix they're going to come up. Maybe it was the dynamic usage. Again, going back to the arrangement, knowing when to bring in the brass and let it swell and then come back out again, just to make its presence known and then come back out again. This song screamed Beatles. It absolutely screamed Beatles. Which is so funny to me. Because I would think if anybody's going to copy the Beatles, it's going to be like there's that band I found on the channel a few times, Oasis. You know, you're going to hear that. You're going to hear a lot of Beatles influence in them, but Radiohead, Beatles influence? Really? Yeah, I guess so, because, I mean, look at what they had here. Between the voicing selection, the usage of dynamics, the arrangement, Tom York's vocals, I think, has something to do with it too. His vocal approach, very soothing. Even when the instrumentation came up and the distorted, my mouth is not working today. The distorted guitars came in and everything got a little more rock-centric. Even then, his vocals still stayed very soothing, very relaxing, very soft. Maybe it was his vocals that did it. Or maybe it's a combination of all the above. I don't know. But I mean, when you look at the song, though, and look at what was happening with the song, from a chord progression standpoint, is it all that impressive? No, it's not. It's literally 3 chords. Literally, the main riff is 3 chords. Now, there was the quote-unquote verse where we had more of a descending line, where we started, I believe, on the 4 to the 3 to the 2 to the 1 to the 7 to the 6, back up to the root again to resolve. I believe I think that was the chord progression for the verse, not the verse, the chorus. There was that, but for the most part, most of the song was around those 3 chords: root, major 6, flat 6, major 6, root again. Not all that impressive. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I was blown away by the songwriting on this, but no, it wasn't so much the songwriting that impressed me. What impressed me was the arrangement. Something that I've come to learn about Radiohead, they're very good at. They're very good at arranging, knowing what voices to use when, where, and how, and especially when you bring the dynamics into play. So it is, I mean, I hate to say it, I can't believe I'm saying this, but it is a really good song. It is. And like I said, to some extent, I actually enjoyed this, which is weird because this is not typically the kind of song I enjoy listening to. I think part of it, like I said, I have to be in the mood for a song like this. And it's very possible that today is just one of those days where I can listen to a song that's and enjoy it. Now watch, in a week, I'll come back and revisit this song and I'll end up hating it. But there's no denying, it's a really well-written song. It's a really good song overall. Very well-executed song. Well-arranged. So, yeah. It's so funny. I feel like I say this in every single Radiohead reaction I do. Radiohead is the most polarizing band I've had on the channel. I've given them scores down the 2s. And I've also given them scores up in the 9s. And I've given them pretty much every score in between. And here we are now in the 7s. So yeah, a high 7 to boot. So yeah, 7.7. I feel good about that score, and that's where we're going to stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have a 7.7, which is a really good scale rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B+ letter grade. Take your pick. I don't care. Whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then, by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.